I think you'll agree, a finer list of ingredients you will not find. We've got a lovely fresh pheasant, got some brandy, got some cider, got some cream, some butter, some cinnamon and some apples. I've got 4 apples there, eaten apples. I've cored and peeled 3 into 8s. And what we're going to do, we are going to do Normandy pheasant. As a lot of my subscribers will know, I've already done 5 pheasant dishes this season. I mean, the season for pheasant shooting in England starts the 1st of October. We're now into the last week of the shooting season, which ends on the 1st of February or 31st of January. If you look in my other videos, my main video on bird preparation, I said in that life is too short to pluck a pheasant, and I thought I better put my money where my mouth is and actually cook you one skin off. Have a look at that video. It's so simple to prepare, and it turns out fantastic like that, and I'm going to show you how to cook it. And obviously Normandy chicken, it's a French classic. It's obviously got the brandy, and Normandy's famous for its cider, but so are we. I'm from Worcestershire, one of the 3 counties in England. Worcestershire, Herefordshire, Gloucestershire, we're all cider making companies, and this is made just up the road, about a 20-minute drive away. The pheasant, that's come from about 6 miles away. So this is the last of my pheasants, and my game cooking. Like I said, the season's ending. It may seem like I've done a lot, but we're not going to see these again until later in the year, October. So I like to make the most of it, and as I've said before, with the amount of pheasants I get to handle, well over 150 this year, you can never have too many pheasant recipes, because I'm getting 10, 15 a week. I've got this weekend, next weekend, and it's all over for me. But as I said, this is going to be my last one of this year, so it's going to be a good one. So I'm going to get it all set up and we'll get going. I'll tell you what, it's been a long season for me. I've just called that pheasant a chicken. Now the other day I cored a cabbage, a lettuce, so please forgive me. What I've done there, I've put about 25 to 50 grams of butter in there, and we just want that to take on a little bit of colour, because what we're going to do, I've took my apples out of that acidulated water so they keep their colour. Acidulated water is just water with some lemon juice in, to stop the discoloration. What I'm going to do is just gently start to saute these, because I want them to stay whole, but I want them to take some colour and this beautiful butter. Now I've preheated my oven to gas mark 6 as per usual. If you look along the top, you'll see the conversion. I've got my pot ready there, which it's all going to be cooked in. So I will gently colour these apples, slices, and I'm going to put them into my bowl. And obviously the rest of the dish, that lovely cider from up the road, some cinnamon, some cream, some brandy, see if we can get it flaming, that'll be cool. Obviously the butter, the apples, and the star of the show, good old Fezzy. So I'll wait for that to start colouring and we'll start those apples going. Right, you can see my apples there. I'm going to sprinkle a bit of cinnamon on, not too much. Obviously, just gently, we want to just cook these gently. If you start at 12 o'clock in the pan and work your way round, then you know which one you put in first. And luckily, by the time you start turning them, they should all be pretty much colouring at the same time. I might have to do them in 2 batches, but such is life. So, just let those tick over for a few minutes. Nice and gentle, taking on a little bit of colour, but we don't want them to break down. What a beautiful sight that is in there, and the smell is gorgeous. And they're just starting to take a little bit of colour. So I started at 12 o'clock, we just go round, flip them all, and like I said, the beauty of that way is they should all be done at the same time. So I'll just flip these quickly, I'll get the other batch in, and when they're done I'm going to put them into that container. Okay, so there's my apples, nicely browned, all in there, nice and snug. Time to do the pheasant. So I'm going to put some butter in, drop a little bit of oil in so it doesn't burn. So I just want that again to brown off, and in the meantime I'm going to season up this beautiful pheasant. We're going to get some colour on it all over. So plenty of pepper, all over. Beautiful. I mean, I've really had a great game season, I must admit. You know, my mate Coops, who gets all my game, fair play to him. You know, he shoots them on Saturday, they're delivered Sunday, they're dressed, ready to go, in the fridge, some in the freezer, you know, it's brilliant. Hopefully he's getting me a hare soon, but coming up soon I'm going to do a whole mini series on lamb. I'm going to show you how to cut up a whole lamb and, you know, cook some of the joints and the steaks and the chops. Anyhow, just get that going gently, turn that heat down a little. Now I'm just going to put my pheasant in, first of all, breast side down there, nice and steady, take your time, 10 or 15 minutes and get a good colour on it. What a lovely looking thing. Just want to show you where we are with the fezzy. There's that one side done, I've done that side, so what I'm going to do is try and rest it up on its breast, so I shall lean it against there, and then I'm going to turn it on its back, got the colour on there, I'm going to add some brandy, light it, and hopefully we'll be able to flambe it. Fingers crossed. So that pheasant is looking amazing. Now we are going to try and flame the bad boy. So, put a bit of brandy in. Look at that. Flambéed, baby. Life is a fire, a flame, and brandy, as 10cc would say. So, wow, beautiful. And you'll know when that's done, when all the alcohol's burned off, because that's what happens, the flame goes out, baby. The flame goes out. I'm going to take my pheasant out, I'm going to turn it over, breast side down, and nestle it in those lovely, lovely apples. Next, we are going to deglaze the pan, and we are going to use some of this cider. So some of this beautiful local cider from just up the road. What about that much in there? And you know the drill. If it ain't good enough to cook with, don't drink it. Oh, that'll be fine. So what we're doing is deglazing that pan. I'm going to scrape all the bits off. I'm going to put it on top of that. Then we're going to get it in the oven, gas mark 6 for 20 minutes initial cooking time. So all I'm doing is scraping up all the residue, all those lovely flavours. I mean, I've only had a sip of cider, there's residue. Anyhow, you know, getting all those bits up off the bottom, and while it's still bubbling, we pour it over there. That'll act as a braising liquor. We'll put the lid on, and we'll check on that in 20 minutes. Right, my pheasant has been in there cooking breast side down for 20 minutes. That is hot. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn it over, back onto its back, just like that. It says, I'm going to put the lid back on, and that will go back in the oven and continue cooking then for another 25 to 30 minutes. Right, this has had that initial 20 minutes roasting, pot roasting, and then I've just given it another 30 minutes on top, and it looks a bit like that. So what we've got to do, take my pheasant out, which looks lovely, then we've got to concentrate on making this sauce. So what I've just done is basically strained the liquor from the casserole, which was the cider, the brandy, the apples, through a sieve. I've pushed through some of the apples as well, and that's the liquor there. And what we're going to do is reduce that. In the meantime, I've put the pheasant back into the casserole just to keep warm and just to rest and relax. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the sauce on, reducing. In the meantime, the apple I had left over, I'm just going to caramelise the last few slices just for show. So that'll go down on the plate. We'll carve the pheasant off, and then we'll nap it with this lovely reduced sauce. So you can see there, I've got my sauce in a wide pan, the heat full up, so we can start reducing that, and that will concentrate all the flavours. And in this pan here, just get that warming gently. I'm going to put my knob of butter in, and then just start gently taking your time, because obviously pheasants resting there, so we want to caramelise those apples real nice. Like before, just lay it, start at 12 o'clock, space these out more now. Just take your time, like I said, with these, because we want these to look nicely caramel and brown. You can hear there, that's reducing at a rate of knots. See that apple at the bottom? I mean, you can strain that off if you wanted, but I quite like to have the bits in. You know, it's a bit more rustic, a bit more, you know, it's got a bit more body, a bit more integrity. You can see in there, that's thickening up nicely. You've got all those lovely bits, and I tell you, I'm not joking, the flavour is just amazing. It's like turbocharged apple. So I'm going to turn the heat down there a little bit because I want that thickness. I'm just going to add my cream. I'm just going to whisk it in. Just going to let that heat through gentle while we finish off these apples. Then I'm going to carve up my pheasant. We're going to serve it up. Just give that another taste now. Check the season now, we've got that in there. Oh, that's mellowed it out. Fantastic. Okay, let's have a look at this pheasant. Oh, I can't wait. Remember, this was cooked with no skin on. Just take that one leg off. Snap it straight through. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't just put this back in the sauce now and warm it up. That would be fantastic. Take that leg off. Then we'll get the breast off this. Might be cool enough for me to use my hands. Gently down the one side. It's hot. I should know better. Through that wing bone. And there we have one pheasant breast. Oh man. I should just take this off here. Then we'll put the dish together. Let's plate this up. What I've done then is I took the breasts off, the legs off. Fantastic. So I'm just going to put the thighs in the bottom of the bowl. One leg sticking up like that, I think. And then one of the breasts was shot damage, but that's the way it goes, I'm afraid. We just put that on there. And then we should put these around the edge. I mean, I ain't no chef, you know, you just got to go with it. Put your apple on. Nicely caramelised. Turn that one that way. Then basically, get back there you. We should just pour some of our lovely, thick, creamy, appley sauce over it. Got a ladle full of my lovely sauce. Just gently dribble that over. Give it a little bit more, eh? Live on the edge. And there you have it. My finished dish. My Normandy pheasant. Last dish of the pheasant shooting season 2014. I think you'll agree that is one hell of a dish. Suppose I better have a little bit of a Rough Rider. We better have a go. Now, try a bit of this breast meat. Some of that sauce. Some of that apple. I may have to turn this off. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Well folks, I'm going to get stuck into this. See you again next time. Thanks for watching. Love is a fire, a flaming brandy.